All right, welcome back. This is our second day of looking at average rate of change, and let's use this first video to kind of serve as a reminder as we go into the next two activities for your assignment today. All right, it says the function y equals f of x is graphed below. Plot a line segment connecting the points on f where x equals -1 and x equals 2. Use the line segment to determine the average rate of change of the function f of x on the interval -1 to 2. All right, so you can see here, I got a little dot kind of following my mouse around, okay? So I'm going to go to x equals -1, and I'm going to go down to the point on the function, and I'm going to click on it. And when I do that, a line extends out. And then I'm going to go to x equals 2, and then I'm going to go down to where the function is, and I'm going to click on it. So that's step number 1, okay? You have to have this line segment, or Delta Math is going to tell you you've done the problem wrong. Okay, now I'm going to take the green line segment. So it'd be great if the function disappeared, but it doesn't. And I'm going to determine the slope of this green line, okay? Well, remember, if you have a horizontal line, okay, the slope is 0, okay? And the slope is 0 because the y value, the change in y, is 0, okay? There's no change up and down between these 2 points, okay? There's no change up or down between these 2 points, okay? Now, the change in x, well, how many steps away to get to this point here? So if I'm at -1, I go 1, 2, 3. So my change in x was 3, okay? And so 0 over 3, 0 divided by 3, okay? How does that reduce or simplify? Well, that simplifies to just 0. The average rate of change is 0. Submit my answer. Yes. And there you go. Okay. All right, let's look at a new one. Okay. All right, the function y equals f of x is graphed below. Plot a line segment connecting the points of f where x equals -2 to x equals 2, and then determine the average rate of change. Okay. All right, so x equals -2. I'm going to go here and draw my point. Click on it. And then I'm going to go over here to x equals 2, and I'm going to go down to the actual graph and click on it. And see, now you can see on my screen better. Until that line segment is drawn, the rest of it doesn't pop up. Okay, so my change in y, okay, how far do I go up or down? Doesn't matter, to get to the other point, okay? So I'm going to go up. So if I'm here, I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, and when I'm right here, I'm straight across. So I went up 4. Okay, my change in x. Okay, so how far do I go over to get to this point? Well, if I start here, I go over 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now there's a problem with the way I was counting. Okay, so if I went up 4, that means if I put my cursor here, okay, actually, let me get my pencil here. Okay, if I went up 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, I have to pick up from that point and count this way because then I'll get that left movement because that left movement is negative. Okay, so just make sure you're counting in the correct direction. Okay, all right, so the change in y over the change in x is 4 over -4. Okay, well, 4 divided by -4, well, that's -1. So I'm going to make sure to simplify all my fractions, okay? Submit my answer. Yes, okay? Oh, look at that. All right, you guys. So I made a mistake. I did not pay attention to the fact that my y values, okay, have interval markings. All right, so let's go back, okay? Show question. All right. So when I went up 4, I actually went from -10 to 5. So I went up 5, 10, 15, 20. So I should have put 20 here over -4. So that means 20 divided by -4. Okay, which means my final answer should have been -5. So let me resubmit that. There we go. Okay. So notice, I mean, I'm not perfect. Never said I was. Okay. We all make mistakes. Okay. So we need to make sure that the y-axis and the x-axis, that it's either what it's counting by. So is it counting by ones, by twos? Okay. In this case, it was counting by fives, and I missed that. Okay. All right. Let's try one more, especially since I got that one wrong. Whew. All right. New problem. Okay. All right. So now look here. So we are counting by fives, and I'm counting by ones on my x and y axis. All right, the function y equals f of x graph below. Yes, that's all to stay the same. X equals -1. All right, well, that was easy. The point goes right there. 2, x equals 0. So that's this point right here. Okay. All right, my change in y. Okay, well, I go down 5, 10, 15. So I went down 15. So if I went down 15 and I went over 1, okay, so -15 divided by 1, -15. Submit my answer. Yes, there we go. Okay, so I feel better about that. All right, so it's easy to make a mistake. There's nothing wrong with that, but I think you've got the idea. Okay, remember, if you remember everything we did yesterday, we were concentrating on slope, okay, and different ways that we can calculate slope, which is the average rate of change. Okay, good luck, you guys.